Oh, is there still one? Huh? There's still one here? Yeah, you're giving them out.
That's not okay.
Nobody else wants out.
If it's not yours. Hey, Andre, can you do me a favor, not go in the office? Riley will get it for you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. All good. Thank you, man. Bless you. Almost bless you.
Let me know what name.
Almost blessed.
Okay, my name is not okay.
Hi, Peyton. Just so you folks on Zoom know, we've got a few people who were out trying to get food and it was turning bad, so we're,
Their problem.
oh, yeah, we're getting going now.
Their problem.
Might hear some
Good time.
movement. Just kidding.
They're adults.
Cool. They are adults. They did know what time.
I was ready for you to go.
Hoover.
Oh, they do the Carolina Panther in its normal habitat.
Hoover's and all of them.
So let's go down to wrestle. Wrestle and tassel. Bustle and bustle.
You realize that the skill was in North Carolina.
What?
I didn't know where that was. And I noticed it when I read it.
Yeah.
And I said, it was gonna be at a high point.
And you're like, oh, it all comes back around.
What the?
Not just him.
I was on Zoom. I was like, I don't recognize that.
That's because it came to me. Yeah, don't put that. Oh, yeah, that's a good way to, you will get triangle choked and then you'll be banned. Yeah, let's say triangle choke to start. A band while trying to open that.
Ready to go, go ready to go.
Almost better than that, and it's cheaper too. There's another place right there. Yeah, it's called Hello Chicken.
Just force people to listen to you in front of the video.
It's right next to it.
Using the commanding voice.
Oh, yeah.
You get a nice thick rice bowl.
Time to pull it out.
They give you all the toppings.
Everybody good?
Yeah.
Is there anybody else that's getting food?
I think I got a couple more, but they're adults and new at time, so.
Right on. All right, let's get started, guys. Hi, my name's Eli.
Hi,
Eli. We're gonna work on some arm drags. And I know that everybody here is familiar with arm drags and everything, but we're gonna look at some different stuff, but I want to transition from standing to the ground. And I picked out that topic, before Ryan let me know his topic, because I probably would have picked a different topic, because if he's working on Russian Thai stuff, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna try not to overlap this too much. But, I don't think there will be much overlap, so let's see how it goes. Let's start like this. So, first thing, let's start with just kind of warming up and getting like the dexterity of arm drags. There's different ways you can look to do it. I can intercept or I can go off the contact, right? If he's already making connection here, so he's already got the hand in this way, then I'm gonna probably circle this off, right? Because like if I try to snap this down, then it might be a little more challenging. So I want to circle. So we're gonna come here and I want to bring my hands up like this. One hand's gonna go to the inside and I want to blade, right? I don't want to use just my arm to try to push this off because I'm assuming he's stronger than I am. It's not true, but I'm assuming. So we go here, I blade, catch up by the tricep, and I want to swing this back across here this way. Now, you can do it a couple different ways. I'm not going to go this way today because I'm not going to overlap with Ryan's shit. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to pass it and I'm going to step. I want to try to get hip to hip with him, right? So I want to block his step so that we don't get into like a spiral or a do-si-do, right? Now, for drill purposes, whenever I do this and I drag like this, my partner is going to use his free hand, his support hand over here to push us apart. Now, from the chest, yeah. And when he goes to push us apart, I'll pick up on that. We'll go to the chest just for fun. And when he goes to push us apart, this hand that's on the tricep will pick up at the wrist, and I'm going to drag that way. Okay. And then he'll push us apart this way, and I'm going to drag this way. Okay. And we'll drag this way. Okay. So I'm constantly like feeding back and forth. Now, just a couple little things about this before we, because so we don't like make a mistake that's going to snowball and create a bad habit. There's a difference between if from here, if I drag like this, right? Or if I drag like that, okay? The second one is kind of, it's gonna be a little more functional. And what's the difference? I'm glad you asked. When I drag on the second one, let's turn this way a little bit. When I drag on the second one, I'm sinking a little, right? If I just pull on a horizontal plane and there's not much body movement, I'm just using arms and he wants to pull back, well then, yeah, he's gonna probably slip that arm free, right? So that's a fundamental thing that people mess up a lot of times on arm drags, I feel like. So instead I'm gonna sink a little bit, you see what I mean? Now when he pushes apart, same thing, I'm gonna sink a little bit. It's not that I'm doing it more aggressively, it's just I'm doing it more intentionally on the sink, right? So you gotta refer back to your karate days of that withdrawing to keep a hand, right? That's what that was put in karate for. But that's a different subject we'll talk about later. And let's go ahead and practice these arm drags. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I can't really do it.
That's not what.
And I don't have a designated.
Guess what, 3, 2? Huh?
Either one, doesn't matter. Let's go.
Confused me.
Let's see.
Are you switching us?
Oh yeah, this is a non-reciprocal drill. So yeah, let's just switch on your own. You're big, you figure it out. You know, if you like 10 or something.
Yeah.
Go back and forth. You got it. Who's on Zoom?
But I don't know if it's training.
Okay. What's up, Peyton? I know you can't really say hi back, but
You get do more, huh? Post again? We'll just change like 3 and then.
3, okay.
Yeah.
Same thing here.
You could. Not a big deal though, if you call me and to let you know that. You haven't accomplished anything big if you're calling me. We're both okay. You know, when you are, right? You're understood. Yeah.
The idea of like they do
You can do that. Yeah, but finally. Yeah, I'm sorry. I would be kind of you all over. Yeah.
arm drag.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Actually, that's a good one. Yeah, right.
Choking. You tell what Ron put that in the idea box.
Okay, fine.
So like I mentioned before here, again, I can intercept instead. And honestly, like you can do either of these either way, but I think the interception is better with a slap or a smackdown. So like as his hand is kind of floating out, I'm instead gonna like smack down here. Okay, so I'm smacking here. And I only get by the wrist or the hand, right? I'm not going too high up on the arm. If I get too up high on the arm, he's probably already made contact, right? So I'm smacking down this way. Okay. Same thing with this hand though, right? So here, this one. Okay, does that make sense? Again, even if he's made contact, I can still do it, and get there, but it's whatever. But it's important to have both of these kind of at your disposal and be able to do these. So here, as it's coming in, I'm smacking here. I want to think about this hand I'm smacking with being like it's wet, and I want to fling the water off of my fingers. Okay, and I don't want to get it on my foot. Okay. Does that make sense? Right.
Yeah.
Same on a snap down. Now, snap down was. You wouldn't fling the soap off, you would rinse, and then it'll all work together for the full analogy at the end. Same thing on a snap down, right? On a snap down, you're not just pushing down here like this. I'm backstepping a little bit. I'm kind of making a pocket of space to snap them into, right? And okay, so same idea. Keep it this way, and I'm still again stepping in hip to hip, right? Again, I can chase the back, or I could switch into a 2-on-1, but this hip to hip, this block right here, this is going to serve a purpose for us for certain takedowns that we're going to look at. So that's why I'm going here, because like from here, I can go in on a single, I can go on a double, body lock, all kinds of cool stuff, or the ones that we're going to do today, which would be either one of those. So anyway, again, non-reciprocal. So every time he's pushing me apart, I'm doing that snap to drag. Okay. And then after about 10 or so, we'll swap. Okay.
Can you show it one more time?
Yeah. So as it's coming in, right, same thing. It's hard to show it like slow, like so as he's reaching in, smacked. When I grab here like this like final note, I'm trying to pull his elbow to face me a lot of the time, right? Especially if I'm using this kind of outside grip, like that's really strong. Right? If I allow him to stay like this, he can engage his lat. Now he's a lot stronger at resisting. But here, his lat's disengaged. It's a lot easier for me to drag him and make some kind of functional movement, All right, let's try it, guys. 1, 2, 3.
I think it's just you and me pronunciation.
You know. A lot of different.
That is my common denominator of this. Or Ed.
Eli can show better than I can, but
Yeah.
Sir, you can't be here, sir.
So he's reaching.
I'm talking outside starting.
It's not nearly real. Right, so if I.
No, I've been doing how.
Just start something and then
He's on the route with Brad.
I'm a little slow. All right, time. I'm gonna run this into the ground. We got a few of these drills to get through. The next one I want to look at is what was it? So I want to kind of initiate contact so that I can elicit an arm drag. So that I don't have to wait until they reach out and post or they're trying to reach out and grab me. So the way that I'll look to do that is I'll initiate. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna thumb post here like this. Now, if we're just grappling, right? And I mean, this has some striking application too. the thumb post works really well to get this guy who's like kind of non-committal to do something. Partly because it gives him kind of something to react to, but also you kind of piss the guy off a little bit and then he'll kind of start to open up. So the way you'll thumb post isn't just like, hey buddy, here, right? The thumb post is going to be this, right? Here. And sometimes it'll be at the throat, right? That's a really good way to do it. In competition, not with your buddies, right? That's a dick move. But thumb posting to the throat is great and it's perfectly legal. So we're here like this. Now he doesn't like it. So the reaction he's going to give me for the drill sake, his hand is either going to come from the outside to make contact or from the inside to make contact. Okay. He's not using this one to react right now. Okay. For the drill. So if he comes to the outside here, then from here, we're going to drag this way. Okay. If he comes to the inside, it's more of a smack. Okay. So the outside is going to be more of that circle. The inside is going to be more of the smack, just like we did before. Yeah. Makes sense. Absolutely. So when I post, his hand comes from the outside. I'm going to slide back here. Right. I'm going to play the guitar this way. Yeah. That's what it looks like. Yep. That's still that from Tai Chi, actually. That's a movie Tai Chi. Okay. So when I post here, he goes to the inside. I'll slide back, smack this way. Okay, that way, right? So again, here he comes to the outside of the drag, right? He comes to the inside, smack. Same result. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's practice that. Keep it slow and methodical to do get the hang of it. If you're fucking it up, don't go faster. Okay, let's go. 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Yeah, but it depends on how you do it. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm doing. Yeah, so if you go around. I'm sorry, okay. I'm responding to your response for your response. No, I can go through that. And then you. Yeah, if you're, it depends on what item. So if I go over. Now you drag. Yeah. If I go inside. Yeah. It's okay. It's all right. So you not. I'm responding to your response. Yeah. A, B, and C. I think even that's normal. Wasn't done. I do you. What you just showed. I'm gonna look for it. Yeah. But I'm going. I like it. Respond for the response. Yeah. Oh, I touch your mic. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah. Oh, making it harder to shoot. Go inside. Now you go. Here. You put on the inside. Here. I go inside.
Wow.
Again, right?
Your response.
Probably not.
Oh, I do this. I do this.
Versus
It's okay. So you know. So.
I mean, it was your fault, but it's not.
As you pull. Pull your stronger than you. So over. Yeah.
It's not- it was actually right.
Yeah, if I'm dating,
You're big. You're big, yeah, you're big. So. So now.
All right, time.
We're making it harder.
Yeah, underthink it, for sure, underthink it. Because you start to get there and it's like, wait, which one was like, you fuck it up, but at work you didn't fuck it up. Kind of, sort of. Well, is it just because it worked doesn't mean it works, and just because it didn't work doesn't mean it doesn't work?
Yes.
All right, so, the next one here, we're gonna go for the pummeling, right? So off of pummeling, we'll just do basic kind of pummeling on here, right? Hopefully everybody knows this. Now, once we get here though, like instead of me posting and monitoring at the elbow, I'm gonna slide back to the wrist. I'm gonna swivel. Now, here's the thing, when I negation acknowledged Janetian spirit, I don't want to retract my shoulder to get here, right? I'm keeping shoulder pressure and weaving from the elbow, right? Now I've got my 2-on-1. Now I can drive this way. Okay? So here, this way, pummeling. And when I decide I'm gonna make it after a few times, and again, I'm not surprising him, right? I'm gonna go like a few times. I'm gonna slide back to the wrist here, pushing down with a thumb post. My shoulder stays pressure in this way here, and then I'm gonna drag this across. Now, at this point here, once I make this connection, if I need to retract my shoulder, that's not a bad idea, right? That's okay. But I don't want to necessarily go here and be like, oh, I gotta reach over and go like this, right? Because now I'm backpedaling, I'm creating too much space. He's gonna fill the space before I did. So shoulder pressure in, we get here, drag. Okay, good?
Good.
All right, again, couple of times each side, switch, couple of times each side, switch. Let's go, 1, 2, 3.
You're doing things. Like, force me, and then you push this. That sounds true. It's like this tiny little gap. Yeah, the other hook on one again. Grab two. Grab two.
Yeah. Going now.
Yeah, you go.
Like you like that under like this one.
Oh, gosh, you didn't push it down. Yeah. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Know something around.
Never did. Except that 360 turn.
Except for what, Paul?
Except that 360 turn and back when it works.
Hey, that was.
I mean, it works, but I just can't do it.
Yeah. That's how I feel. I can't do it.
Right, exactly, right?
Even if it's like really good. Trying to squeeze through.
Yeah.
I'm not getting it.
What is that? We gotta put it back on step on.
Just try to avoid it.
Okay.
Yeah, because like it needs to be on this. Up and off again.
I almost stepped on, I'm sorry.
Bye.
Well, we're trying to not step on the microphone. I stepped on one. That's what we're trying to do. I stepped on. It's all right.
Right time. All right. So now that we have every entry that you'll ever possibly need into an arm drag. You got it from contact, you got it from disconnected, you got it from you posting, creating the contact. You've got it from pummeling. I mean, there's really literally nothing else you'll ever need. But now we need to know what to do with it. So we're not just the dog chasing the car, right? I want to get this arm drag and then be like, oh shit, that actually worked. And then by the time I think, oh shit, that actually worked, it didn't work anymore. You know what I mean? So let's look at some takedowns then, right? These takedowns I specifically like because they don't require a high level of timing and precision, right? Like anything, the better timed and the better precision that it has, it's obviously gonna work better. But these work well against people because of the commitment to them, I think. And I've taken down people that are way better than me with them, and that's always a litmus test for me. If I can pull something off on somebody I know who's better, then that's a good move, right? Or I just underestimated how awesome I am. So let's look at this here. The first one that we're going to look at is going to be Kochi, and we could argue over whether it's Gake or Gari. I would say that it could be either one, just because. Yeah, I mean, well, if you have a compelling point to make about it, I'll debate it with you, but we'll call it Gake just because the read. So when he's here, we'll take whatever kind of connection. And again, you've got 4 different things that we worked on. So if you want to experiment with this from any of them or all of them, then by all means do it. Do watch your space on it. Once I get this drag going here and I pass, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this space here, right? Once I make that space, I'm thinking a couple things here. One, I'm going to shuffle step, so my back leg is going to come up and this leg is going to hook all the way down to the ankle. I want my knee touching the floor, right? I'm passing this out of the way and my shoulder is going into that pocket, okay? So here, I go this way and I hook here, okay? So here, I drag here this way. Once I get to this position, you see how like whenever I wrap, I kind of toss his arm away. I don't personally like, I definitely don't like to keep this do-si-do grip. It's a good way to get redragged, right? And expose your back. This is better, but it's still not great because he still is under my arm. What I kind of prefer is to toss it here, like I'm going to shoot for a double leg. Yep. Right? But instead, I'm hooking that leg here. So it has elements of the double, but you're hooking to the inside leg here. So it has that element of a trip too. Right? Okay. Does that make sense? And you see where my arm winds up on this side, right? That's pretty important. If I did a weak drag and I wind up with my arm on this side, my back is exposed, right? This is bad, okay? Unless it's judo, then you still get the points. So we go hook here this way, I drop. Okay. Think about tripping yourself and falling. Okay. You're not going to hurt your partner's knee. It's very, very difficult. You have to try specifically to hurt your partner's knee. Okay. That's not a challenge. It's just a statement of observation that I've noticed for a long time. Okay. Don't try. Now, here's when you will hurt yourself or your other partner is if you don't commit to it. If you're like this, probably gonna fuck it up and it could result possibly in injury. Yeah, so don't do it. Just take a full, okay, super easy takedown. All right, use up the space. Don't drop your partner on top of somebody else's partner, on top of somebody else's partner, on top of a microphone, on top of a computer. Okay, let's go. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you. That's your livelihood right there. Oh, how you feeling?
Yeah, I'm gonna move this back.
Thank you. Here.
Keep it away. Yeah.
It does look scary.
As maybe it's somehow.
No, I'm feeling it down there.
Yeah.
Coming here. Yeah, dragging, right, if she is.
Yeah, standard drag.
And then I like updated it, so I'm like, you can't.
And
You're dragging, doesn't go.
No, that makes sense, because I use that a lot.
Yeah. I'll do that. Or down here. Drag. There you go. Anyway. And you go down. Is that it? I don't know if it's going too far.
Oh, I see.
Now we're on to the. Yep.
Yep.
So you go.
Ready?
Uh-oh.
Be careful with if you get above the knee, you're probably gonna.
Okay.
So like if you come in.
The full belly.
Oh, yeah. Full belly on full belly.
Gotcha.
So you're starting too hot. More, you got like more like an angle. That's it. For my neck to be around the knee.
That feel better?
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to go on longer hips, but, yeah, not with my upper body. I think I got the front body, but you have to. Guys probably made this mistake too. I think you were like, you should be straight. I'm pretty sure. Okay, no, you use the right one.
Oh, good. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense, but yeah, that's the inside leg, so that was, I told you the wrong thing, you did that.
That was better.
Yeah, so I'm here.
That one.
That little zigzag.
No, it's good.
Yeah.
But coming here.
Clearing.
Be careful looking at that. It's not long, but you'll.
Well, it's here now.
you can
Yeah,
do
it's
it
already
that
there,
way.
so you can go straight for it.
But,
Nice. Like, it looked like you hurt.
so you're not doing that one. Instead, here.
Start with it.
Try this way. So if this right leg.
At the angle, that's when I would go stepping and then.
My right leg versus versus. I'm putting it like this, because now I've got too far to travel and I'm down right.
Yeah.
So it's straight back.
What's up? Okay. Your left foot. Nah, there it is. Now it's close enough. I'll show you. Now hit it. Yep. Nice.
Match the stand. But this is. Now you're.
Okay.
So I'm looking this way.
I know.
Shoulders to the man.
Yeah. Get a good one liner before you pull it.
That's a good stand.
All right.
Good, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't think about it. I'm not trying to.
With or without, right?
I'm yeah.
Yeah, your knee almost went down to the ground.
Not almost.
Yeah.
All right, time. All right, so.
Nothing you have.
Maybe next one. So let me distinguish this from, like, because there's two typical variations of this. And this is what would in judo be referred to as gake versus gari, like Gari. One of them, Gake is the other. Gake is where you have like a full reap here versus a hook or a sweep, okay? So like if there's the variation here, if I get here, this is one way to do it, right? That'd be Koichigari, right? That's not what we're doing. Because, and not, mostly because I don't like it. I mean, it's, for me personally, I think if you can hit it, it's beautiful because I can stay standing. He drops to the ground, it's fucking great, right? I'm not good at it. Okay, so I'm not teaching that. What I'm showing instead though, I'm not trying to hook. I'm not hooking his leg. I'm tripping him over my leg. Does that make sense? So that's why I'm going all the way to the knee this way, right? Plus, the other reason I like this one is if I screw this one up, boom, and I go and he steps out, just get back up and double it, right? So I mean that, and I closed the distance with it even if I screwed it up, right? Now the way that this will go, several ways this could go wrong, and probably shouldn't really even talk about these, but I'm going to. If I go here and I step in too close and I try to hook his leg and pick it up, this is just asking for me to be countered, right? If he pulls his leg back strong, I'm going to, right? So he's going to counter it that way. So I want to hedge my bets a little bit better. So I'm dropping down. My hip is a big leverage point. I'm driving in with my hip on his knee or just below, right? It's to here, all the way to the knee. Now, you're not going to crack your knee. Even if you did this on hardwood, it's not going to be that bad of impact on your knee, believe me, because I have knee pads on. No, but even if I get him, I'm kind of hitting him and then drop. My knee never slams into the floor.
Okay.
Right? So he's a shock absorber for my knee. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's not that. Now, I'm not saying go do this in a parking lot, right? Asphalt's still gonna suck, and this is a committed move to get the fight to the ground, right? So context dictates everything, but this is how you're doing the takedown today. Questions? Let's try it a couple more times. Go all the way to the knee, full send, right? That doesn't mean faster, it just means more committed. Okay, let's go. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. I was like, should I do it more?
What do you push it? It's not working for me.
This is not good. First time management.
I was watching my whole season. Aaron was doing the toe holds. Like he's like you're in close guard. He's kind of like turning. That's how I get committed. I did a boxing crap from that. Yeah, you can boxing crap. Yeah, I've done that before. Not a good look.
I know you literally just said this, but my right side.
You have a long
Yeah.
It's like this. That's a.
That's
Was that stuff apart?
Yeah.
It's just.
Whichever.
Here, right? And then it's up here.
Around.
Yeah, usually.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't.
Holding on the property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yes.
Bye.
Hey, Riley.
Bye, Matt.
Bye.
Like a one side, which is good.
Yeah. My initial thought was. Yeah, getting the people.
Yeah, they just post.
Or even if it's stuff.
I make it more difficult than you just said. I just wanted to.
You wanna stay in like.
Yeah, that's right.
And you can start.
Trying to rewrite.
Anyway, so from brain. There's different words. A lot of time that you're not gonna have. I mean, depending on how much you realize it works, how much you accepts it.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Do my notes on Facebook. I'll be willing to expect.
I think it's.
Yeah, I think it's your. So it puts you in a way to be a passive position. You can sort of talk about it.
I know you're like.
That's why. Yeah, we're just.
Or yeah, quick, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yep.
They call it for a reason. You gotta see.
Okay. Second is better. Yeah, I think once you drag, I remember that thing I said a while ago about.
Bundled up. No.
So it's basically like a football.
Nice.
I think the leg. If you have. I play football. That's tackling like that. Because you're bringing him in a smother. Football, it's like your shoulder. Right. Versus like. I'm not gonna. Now, there is a penetration step, so it's more similar to a double. You know? Okay. You wanna go again?
You try again.
Okay.
Well, I'm excited, because that's a lot to follow.
Press that one.
All right, good. Time out, guys. Time out. If you like that one, you'll love this one. If you don't like that one, you'll love it. Okay, so this is a little bit similar but different energy. Right? So whereas like I'm pulling, dragging, bring our bodies together on this first one, and this is a very forward movement. This next one is a little bit more of a pulling movement, right? Well, you could argue the first one's a pulling movement too, but as I'm using it to drive forward. This one I'm pulling, using it to drive this way toward me. Okay. That whole preface wasn't even necessary. I just show the damn move.
It's fine, you gotta warn
You
people.
make whatever connections you make off of it. So on this one here, what's happening is, again, that dropping idea here. If you just add that, if you're not doing that on your arm drag, you just add that piece to your arm drags, it's already gonna enhance them a little bit because you'll start to notice, like, as if it was missing, then it may not feel dramatically different to you, but the person you're doing it to feels dramatically different, right? So when we get here on this one, again, I'm dragging, but I'm gonna drop into like I always call it a half swastika, but that doesn't sound very politically correct. It's like a S sit, right? No, like if I had 4 legs, it'd look like a swastika. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good visual. I mean, it's not a good, but it's an accurate. Anyway, we get here.
Half pinwheel.
Yeah, sure, okay. So this box sit kind of thing here, like this, right? So what's happening, I'm trying to get my hamstring to smack his ankle. Here, like this, okay? So we get here, I drag. Okay? And essentially I'm just dropping, right? That's a pretty good move, actually. So, you see where my hamstring kind of winds up? Now, this is a possible reaction. This is a common reaction. So this is, if you want to go to here, then cool. But like, even if you didn't go all the way, then we'll talk about it too. Yeah, so it's okay, come on back down. But you know, I still want to be cognizant of like how I'm going to recover off this. I don't want to go here and be like, hey, this looks great. Look what I did, right? Because I don't want him to get his bearings about him and wind up on top.
No.
So from here, right, because this arm typically is going to be around to be able to go by his hamstring or on his leg. So I'm going to slide this leg back like a technical get up. And I'm going to put my head here by his ribs, like looking at his armpit. Okay. From there, if I want to stand back up and go double leg here, I want to stay in on a single or whatever. My head looking at his armpit is good insurance if I'm making contact. So ear against his side, my eyes looking at his armpit. Cool. Okay. So again, this one, I'm pulling, dropping that weight. This leg is kind of sweeping right between his legs. Okay. This leg doesn't move a whole lot, right? Drop to the floor. To my forearm, not my shoulder. Okay. Right. The most common mistake people will make on this is they'll go in and they'll go to do it. Boom. And they'll drop to their shoulder. And now what I've done is pulled bottom half guard, maybe bottom side control. Okay. It's not the best tactical move typically. So don't do that. What I'm thinking about doing is when I drop, I actually won't be facing this way. My chest is almost turned down, not up like this. This is going to expose my back to the ground. And this is going to expose my arm. I want to land on my forearm. Okay. Thigh, forearm in line with each other. One more time. So here. And you decorate the cake however you want to once it's baked. All right. Any questions?
You're landing like this, and then you're doing this.
At the same time. Yeah. So this and this are trying to land together. Okay? See what I mean? Yeah. So then.
Scooping that bottom foot as you come through.
What's that?
Your hamstring scooping that bottom foot as you're coming through.
Yeah, I'm not trying to think too much about that. That's the landmark, hamstring to ankle.
Okay.
That's the landmark, but I'm not trying to think about that too much because if I do, what tends to happen is I get a little too target fixated and then I'm like, I'll try to place it there. Just fall.
Okay.
Underthink it. Just fall.
Okay.
Right. Now, last thing I'll say about this too, the reason a lot of people will land on their shoulder also is because they try to hang on too long to this. So as I'm falling, if he's sturdy up top and I didn't get a good drag, you see what happens here, right? It's not that, it's right. Tossing his elbow to the floor, right? So we go here, I'm tossing. You see when I let go, right? Yeah. You gotta know when to hold it and when to fold it and stuff.
Yes.
Okay, let's try it, guys. Watch your space. 1, 2, 3.
Close on, but we were just doing that. Yeah,
Ready.
Yeah.
So I got mine.
Oh, you want me to go?
Let's speak up there. That's fine. Okay.
You got a bit like this, like, I'm not really doing it.
Doing that jujitsu before. Oh, wait.
You're gonna slide into it. Yeah.
Wait, you
You know, like this.
That's a good time. That's a good time.
You landed right, I think you did, the throw happens after the fall starts.
There you go.
But not.
Throw is like.
I like this.
When-
I like that.
Throw
Yeah.
is like-
Yeah.
Then I just walk them up like a rope. That way you wind up keeping the same side. Make sure your phone's pocket.
I can figure it out.
You don't have to.
Yeah.
Figure that out.
If you want to keep it slide this out. Yeah, I kind of did go the right way.
Yeah, so but you don't throw until you got.
What do you call it?
Well,
Throwing off the elbow?
from the elbow, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
So roll like this. Come in here.
Like a little.
Oh.
Scared and slide down.
Come in here. Don't get scared. Right. So my stomach.
Don't get scared. Yep, right. You're really scared, and then it goes there. Yeah. And then, now this one,
Yeah.
That's not something about. We'll go around. Do it one more, because you look like you really like that one.
You're not,
Yep.
don't worry too much about that trailing. If you just fall here, I pulled him this way.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. All right.
Or you can be ready, so your arm can't get down.
Right. I mean, your forearm is as long as their whole arm.
I mean, for me, especially if they're like this and all the place is open.
Yeah.
That takes me all day, I'm getting off hooks. If I can, if not, it's still not.
Like this right here. Like I get.
To get your. Yeah. Except, well, when you stay up here, you're right?
Yeah.
If I don't lay out.
Lay out.
One of those.
Then you have a band and a shield. You have a shield. And then long.
Oh. Ma'am, it's.
I'm in your arm.
Get ready. I was a little sorry. I was gonna bail if I had to.
No, I'm falling back.
Yeah, you can write it.
Yes.
Yeah, stand up there. Yeah. Like to show that.
Yeah.
Even one, I mean, who's ideal?
Yeah.
But even one. Acting outside and get hit.
Like.
Yeah, those are wrestling people.
Yeah. That was advantageous.
Like you were a lot shoulders, so I was very shoulder.
Yeah.
I thought about the way down, so I kind of. Yeah. What? Recovered. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're right.
Yeah.
They can fall so much better and then your body's over here. I have to put it in our food. We're both doing it,
Yeah, I just think it's like.
All right.
There.
Oh, you got it, okay. So, yeah, if this feels weird, then you might be mixing elements of the previous takedown in this one. Right, so in the previous one, I'm pulling and like really kind of going to the person, not kind of, I'm going to the person, right? Versus this one, I'm bringing them more to me. But honestly, I'm just kind of dropping, right? Just kind of dropping down. Because even if like, again, like I started to mention this, even if it doesn't have a big effect and he just kind of like stepped out of it, like did virtually nothing to him, look where I'm at. Like I'm right in on a wrestle up, right? So again, like it's that failing forward concept, right? Okay, maybe I didn't get the takedown, but I closed the distance and I'm in on his legs. I'm on a wrestle up and I can go into a single, double, body log, take his back, whatever, right? So that's the whole concept behind chain wrestling, right? You don't want to be so committed and so tied to the outcome of this individual thing that you bypass any sequential things that could be there, right?
Yeah.
You always want to kind of have backup plans, not be too married to that first thing, right? So, That makes sense, guys? So let's fuck it up one time. And so my partner here, he's gonna be a little more aware. I'm not gonna do anything fundamentally wrong. I'm not gonna try to mess it up on purpose. But my partner is gonna have a little bit of pre-knowledge about it, so he's not just gonna go very easily for me. He's just gonna kind of step out when I go. Okay, so I want you to see what condition that creates for you, right? So we'll go here. Shit, right? So I can follow up, right? That's something like his back is still exposed there. I mean, even if he does, like, best thing he can do a lot of the time off of these is redrag me, right? That's what's gonna happen when you get a hold of a much better wrestler than you are. But you're gonna lose anyway, so it's fine. Right? It's, I mean,
Look cool while you do it.
just lower your expectations and, you know, take the small victories. So again, we're going here. Getting into this. You figure out what you're gonna do on the way up, okay? All right. Let's try it a few times. 1, 2, 3. Fuck it up on 3. Yeah.
Thanks for the confidence.
Yeah. That's right. What's that old saying? That's good. You ever see that? You got low vacation.
All right, so here I'm stepping out, you're kind of like.
No possibility.
There you go.
Oh.
I don't know what this is, but I'm doing something.
That's fine.
Don't pick up full step. Here. You did so good, you couldn't even. You couldn't even count.
I don't think I was, you were in a better spot.
All right, you can. You're like, okay, that's.
Yeah, no, you're good. I was thinking, that's what I did wrong.
It's literally like. We're intentionally doing the first step, practice the second.
Stand straight.
I feel like that's what I'm gonna do. And then back it up. I think we're fresh.
Where's it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Logan? Right.
I know. You can actually go in this is doing the- but one would have
Yeah. I break all the track. If I could break all the-
Awesome. You're turning.
Oh, that's not. Get that right.
Yeah.
Yeah, only remember what he
Here's
said.
an idea, you can set up to do it, try to. Set it up.
No, hold on the whole way.
From here? That like,
No,
So-
yeah, just like stand up this leg in the way, it'll give you.
Oh,
So you're,
keep it or don't
yeah, you're
keep it.
kicking this leg back for the entrance.
Keep it.
Yeah. Now, the rest of that. Got a lot of stuff you can do. Only thing I would say about your.
And then you have to let,
Maybe point out
take
about
another leg.
Yeah, it's like, oh, there's a right here. Can you try to stand up with your butt going this way?
If I'm doing it pretty, I can get under that. I can cover that thread.
Yeah.
I'm not that big.
So I'm using that, and even if I stand up, this has to be a leg. It's not something like, I'm gonna be able to get separation. Get out.
So I'm here.
Yeah, or there you go. So as you get up, keep driving it. Yeah. you were, Nice.
It's just like.
Yes, sir.
Yep. It's.
Yeah. You did it valid, but I think. Yeah, that's all I had to do.
Here,
Yeah, that's.
and then
Yeah, yeah.
drive, driving, keeping,
Yep.
while I'm driving this day.
There's your double A.
There's nothing wrong with the daily test.
Okay.
I'm not saying take it down. I would say.
Sorry.
No.
Okay.
All right, time. Nice. Good. So again, context dictates, yeah. Probably not the best go-to on asphalt or gravel. Probably not. Might be worth it, you know, especially if somebody's recording it, putting on a World Star. But, you know, it might not be. So, just for funsies, let's talk about, what I think is a good little enhancement to a standing arm drag where I don't have to have one of these big committal throws, you know, where I don't have to like fully sacrifice myself going into it. Because what goes wrong with your arm drags, if you're ever just standing grappling with somebody and you try to go for an arm drag, so he goes to arm drag, and he's like, fuck you, you know? And so it's like, it's frustrating. It's like, damn it, it feels so good when I practice these arm drags in class and I'm getting to the outside, I'm getting to his back, I'm doing all this cool shit, and it's not materializing, okay? So cheat, all right? So two things, I already mentioned one, sink more, but also, here, when I go to drag, if I just drag here and it's not very good, we're gonna wind up either do-si-doing, he's gonna rip his arm away, something. So if I just take this leg and touch his shin, magic happens, right? It's like, it enhances it so much more. I'm not saying it's gonna like completely transform your arm drag. I'm not saying that. So here, and it didn't look like it did anything to him, but it's just so tired and cliche in self-defense circles, but it fucked up his OODA loop, right? That's what it essentially does. He's like, oh shit, okay, that little stumble enhanced my arm drag, right?
Yeah.
So it's, and it cleared me a path to his back essentially. So here, man, like when I started doing that on my arm drags, I'm like, oh, this shit actually works now. Cool, you know? And that, I mean, that tells you more about my shitty arm drags than it does about the technique itself. But I think when you can find cheat codes like that, they're worth it, you know? So, we can practice it. And I think, you know, again, from a self-defense perspective, I'm not doing a big committed whatever. So whatever it is that gets me that connection for the initial arm drag, right? I'm gonna leave that to scenarios on whatever. But if I can get that, I can stay standing, I can get around to his back potentially, I can get to at least the side, I'm gonna have more success on this arm drag. And it doesn't require a big sacrificial like commitment from me, okay? So let's just play with this. Yes, sir. What foot? This one. So, if I, the way that, if I'm, let me think how to say this. This is this side. Okay, so if we're like matching stances, let's say, and he's giving me, now let's switch my I use terminology matching versus mirroring. Okay, right. So if we're matching stances and he's going here and I drag, right, I'm my cross side foot, right? Okay. This one, you'll see, like when you try to do it like this doesn't make sense. Okay. Right. That one. Yeah. And again, straight Tai Chi. This is wave hands like clouds, right? We play guitar, now we're doing wave hands like clouds. From Yang style Tai Chi Chuan. Yeah. All right. Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
You can't convince me it didn't this way.
I can see.
What?
You can't convince me.
I know, I still know the 108.
I'm literally going to
Same thing.
I'm still like, are you listening? So like, you know how the arm yeah.
Needle is needle spot
progression.
like I used to have this really cool.
I do
that had this piece of
Oh, this hand?
And I'm like, that's what it's supposed to.
Opposite.
Because otherwise, this doesn't make sense.
Same side.
I wouldn't fucking stand. But if you're my arm. Anyway, it doesn't.
You know, I think
Cool.
when you're doing this,
You're just doing the arm drag on the way out.
Okay, that makes sense. Steven, who think, is that, we kick, so aim lower than you think. But it's not really involved. Yeah, go. What are you going, far side? Okay.
We got some.
So then, so we got all of it worked out. Here, I'm not going here. Yeah. That makes sense. It should be. You're right. You got the far side. Okay. Okay. Will be your left. Okay. Also, it'll help if I get your own clear. That way I know.
I'm so prepared. You're fine.
It's not even meant.
Yeah.
So you don't.
There is no.
Yeah.
There's a problem.
Not for me.
I love that video.
The far side is for me. Go to the far side.
I need rock maker. That was my.
The far side.
You're like, you can't take that.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
You're right. That's really, they're getting all our color commentary.
Oh. Who's on there? Okay.
Right.
Sorry.
No,
Do the inventory of everything said. Yeah.
See what I mean? How cool you are. Okay. That's what I like. Yeah. That's the. I wanna just go 100% to him and touch his shin.
We're good.
If.
I just left it there.
It's a big reaction. Yeah.
All right, time. All right, about 2 hours behind schedule, so let's look at some stuff.
Turn if you're right on time.
Hey, there you go. Okay. Yes, I'm referring to my note. Because we're gonna skip some stuff. Yeah, all right, so we're skipping postcard. We're gonna go to butterfly garden, right? Yeah, I know, right?
You can take all the time you need, you won't hurt my feelings.
So we're gonna go we're gonna look at this from butterfly guard. So butterfly guard is a good offensive guard. And it usually precedes like some kind of passing condition. It precedes closed guard a lot of times. So when we're here, and I'm in butterfly, not you, yeah. So we're here like this, and he's looking to try to get around. Now, the benefit of this kind of position here is that I've got all my weapons in the way, right? And so I'm better apt to make connections, and he's got to clear all these things to get truly on top of me, right?
Yes.
So what we're going to look at from here, different ways that we can arm drag, right? I can go like reaching out handshake style grip this way, right? This can be very effective. Typically, if I'm going to get an outside grip though, a lot of the time, this thumb grip by the wrist, even better, if you can get it, is put your thumb in his palm this way. This is, I would consider the best. Why? Because if he's here and he's strong, he makes a fist like this, and that doesn't affect very much. But if I get here like this, look, watch his elbow. Isn't that cool? Anatomy is just fucking weird, yeah. So yeah, because this is like a little baby wrist lock. Now his elbow is exposed, and that's what I was talking about a while ago. If you can start to see the back of his elbow on an arm drag, you're not gonna process that in the light. And that's not what I'm saying. I'm not gonna be, oh shit, there's his elbow. Okay. No, it's a mechanical thing that if I recognize that I can make that happen in training, that's gonna be very beneficial to me, right? So that's the idea. What was my point with any of this? Oh, okay, so we get here and whatever kind of grip I can get, whether it's wrist or thumb inside the palm, and I get that rotation, I'm gonna shoot nice and high up here toward his shoulder, right? And I'm trying to pull this together in a way that gets his shoulder and tricep against me this way, you see? Okay, now from that position here, right? I'm gonna use this to hug the second hand. I usually like to check to see how far I can get around his back, right? If he's smaller, I might get all the way to that lat, right? If he's bigger, I might just get to like middle of his back, right? But it doesn't matter because what I'm looking to do from here, I'm looking to lift him up, right? And for the drill, my partner is just gonna float. He's not gonna try to do anything fucking weird. We're gonna go here, I lift this way. You see? Now I'm gonna remove, which one? The side I dragged on, I'm gonna remove that leg here. Falls in, right? Now, once that happens, once I remove that, he drops. When this foot goes back down, I take a shrimp. And we have his back, okay? So, we're here like this. I get the drag here, and I pull us together. Oh, I scooch in. So I dig my heels in, I scooch so I can get nice and deep underneath him and pull him over on top of me, right? Once that happens, I'm gonna rock back, lift, remove a hook, and shrimp out, okay? And then we're right in on the back, okay? To secure the back position, your options are throw the second hook. If his knee is more retracted here, and it's harder, cross your ankles betwixt his legs like that, clamp the hip here like that, okay? If his leg is, for some weird reason, way straight like that, then you can body triangle or body triangle. But again, you decorate it however. So, invisible partner style, sure. I would here drag this way, pull us together, rock. I don't allow my knee to get any farther away from my chest. So, in other words, no, right? Because now I've got to do a hip flexor curl and lift his entire body weight, right? I could do it, but most normal people, it's asking a little too much. So instead we here, rock, right? Drop this one out. He falls, shrimp, just to make sure the angle's true. And we get here. Cool?
So you're trying to put thumb in his hand?
Yeah. So like if we're here like this, right? So if I grab here, right? That doesn't feel nearly as strong. If I go here, yeah, feel like a little baby wrist lock. Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, right. It's so funny. Like because like you control those bones in the hand. Now it's really hard for me to twist that wrist and be strong with it. All right, let's try it, guys. 1, 2, 3.
You have more rhetorical now.
Yeah.
I know, Freddie, I know. I'm sure you know it's done.
Starting.
All right. I love how easy they make it look. Right.
How you doing, Peyton?
Here.
Yeah, so.
Oh, no, you did it right.
Let's get more space. Sorry. Yeah.
I don't forget it.
I don't get to work like I want to most of the time, so Pablo, sorry. Here. Sorry.
Yeah, so.
Okay. In this position.
So from here, yeah, that makes
Sorry.
sense, because whatever, because if you trip the wrong way, you're just gonna, don't overthink it, just think shrimp to the side that you're going to the back, otherwise you'll end up basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, we started out pretty strong.
Can't do that.
I don't grab inside your hand.
Oh, yeah. When I did that.
Yeah. It's a little bit of a.
Yeah, think like, yeah, lotus position the best you can.
Body just good. You wear that. You can go to all the
Okay.
Cool.
You go, you can beat up on me. I can't tell.
No, like, you don't break, correct me if I'm wrong, you don't break the butterfly.
Yeah.
Butterfly, yeah, or future butt, close to Just shoulder to your chest here, and now rock back until the sides are up and make a nice. Take your left foot out. And out. Find that you started to steer down that way first. Okay, lift it straight up. Here, your left foot out.
See me, I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
King of block, you believe one. King of block.
Okay.
Anthony.
Yeah.
He'll sleep all day.
Oh, the first thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We give you like,
Honestly,
can I put dental?
Oh, yeah, you don't realize you're in trouble. You're to the last possible thing. Slowly, you're like, all right, I'm gonna what's up?
What happened?
You just wanna like. Take as much space as you can, take as much space as you can. Feel like a leopard. There you go.
Yeah, you're gonna be there or this looks in.
I think you would see like me again. I think if you get me up in a position.
Nowadays.
That's the one where you're like.
Oh.
It's all.
Not your throne, yeah.
I
I know, right?
You think I'm something
The other guys.
take away what's fourth time. And I gotta think about it.
Yeah.
Well, you can get on the.
This way.
This way. On the side. I also get, no, I think. Better.
Yeah, let's go for the deal.
I realize I'm a little bit.
Yeah.
In the world, like, they're kind of they. Look here.
Know me very well.
Who in the cat traffic? Go blow, blow grip with them? No, not that. Your left hand. Oh, but this one. Twist. That's the elbow. Yes.
Okay.
Now pull, attach your shoulder to your chest. No, don't worry about this. That's the center chest.
That's you guys.
Elevate.
That's
Operation.
Yeah.
So the side.
Not me, man.
I should have a blind dog.
Yeah, no, you're not rolling.
I know.
Oh.
Okay, can this do that one, or do the other one where he's with the artwork? Yeah. You're just up there, and whatever it has to be.
Yeah, you're like a kite.
He'll keep you there for a minute or time. Just kidding.
Yeah, yeah, he's way crazy.
Yeah. The longer you're there, the more stupid you get. Exactly. Doing all this random crap.
Danny falls in. All of your weight is in the air. You're just falling, we're falling, I can roll up, come out, but.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's what I was not. You should be
We're good.
getting.
All right, time. Oh, sorry. Just getting time in. Game on.
You know, it's.
Now,
You know, it goes-
all right, yeah. All right, I'm gonna look at a couple submissions, with the remaining time. I don't want to just keep showing, oh, we can drag from here, you can drag from here, you can drag from here. It's like, yeah, you're dragging to try to get behind the person essentially, right? Trying to create back exposure. Trying to get this person's arms offline and keep them in my optimal workspace. That's the essence of the arm drag essentially. Now, what materializes after that, whether this is a takedown, whether it's a transitional movement, a sweep or reversal, whatever it is, like that's up for grabs. And you should have some kind of a plan, right? You should have a tentative plan and a tentative backup plan. And those, in my opinion, should be corresponding to push-pull energies and responses to what you just did, yeah? So if they go with it or if they directly oppose it, then you should have a plan for each of those situations. Now, having said that, let's look at a couple of really cool submissions. From here, again, butterfly guard. right? Because it's the best guard. We here. And again, same kind of drag concept. If his hand for some reason is rotated this much, I'm not gonna be like put that thumb in there. No, like it's opportunistic and I got a pec cramp from doing that. So from here, I'm just grabbing the outside if it's available. If not, just grab the wrist. I get here this way, okay? Now, this time, what's gonna happen here is I'm removing the hook a little early, right? We go here, and I'm scooting us together. But what I wanna see happen is I wanna get this shot right here. I wanna see his gear on this side, right? I drag with this hand. I shoot with this one and I catch his neck here, this way, right? Then I grab this one. Now, you can skip this step. I don't feel like I've never gotten this without doing this personally. So I just started teaching it this way. So I'm like, all right, I want to get this because he doesn't like it. He's going to be trying to pull his head and arm out. And I'm just going to like put everything here, right? When I feel like I can now, I throw this one over, right? And then it's going to latch back to here. Okay. So now we're in the choke. Okay. So now to finish this choke, this foot here, I'm going to try to get it across to here. Yeah. Why? Because he's going to be trying to move that way to relieve the pressure, right? Yeah. Now, as I go to extend this here, he's going to fall to the side and I'm going to bring my hips in. Right. Sorry. To tighten the shoulder. I was trying to be a little loose. Right? Don't worry about removing this hook so you can put it back in. Let's leave it there. Okay, so we're not doing the hokey pokey. Go here, I drag, boom, catch, right? Chin is a third hand. Okay. Now, shoot. So I'm trying to get my armpit to the back of his head. Boom. See where my hand lines up? I cut back. Yeah, right. I don't crunch my fingers because that's stupid. I go here this way. Okay. Boom. So my foot goes. As I fall to my side, I extend that leg that's across his waist here, this way, and then hip in and squeeze. Okay. It is. It's generally in jiu-jitsu circles, it's called a Mars. Yeah. So Dars came from something like it's a hybrid name between Mark and Dars, because this came from Mark Lyman, however you say his last name. He popularized this one, so they started calling this a Mars choke. Whatever, if that's not important to anybody but me, probably, but still cool, right? So again, here I drag, boom, catch, right? So this was a hand from the wrist or hand. This one's still in the armpit. Catch 1, 2, hug, shoot, lock it up. Foot comes out and across. Which foot? If this is my arm that's choking here on this side, right? I take that side out. This is my left arm going. This is my left leg here. Kick to the side here. Hips hump in to finish. Okay. Could have said that better, but you got the visual. All right. Let's try it, guys. 1, 2, 3. Cool.
Never got it on record.
Yeah.
For all posterity.
This one.
All right, here we go.
What happened to Mark?
I don't know.
Everywhere.
Now you're releasing one.
Yeah, check, yeah, there you go.
You can beat, you just have beef.
Yeah. Yeah, that one.
No, I would have it. No, So.
Yeah.
You feel it on the way down.
Can I screw that up?
Oh, that's good.
Okay, and then hit in.
Yeah, that was a.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now you probably could have rode all the way to the top. It'd be, yeah, so like it gets real, yeah, it gets really tight. Like if you really turn the camera at home, then when you get here. Yeah, it's not. That's why I didn't show that version, because I want people in here to like.
I wanted to make it. Got it. Oh, that's gnarly.
Wait, no, tap
That's
early.
it. No, I started doing it, and I didn't feel like it was gonna be enough to make me commit, so I wanted to get to that position. This way. So.
The arm drag's the same as before, and then that's.
Yeah, we'll probably hand fight. Somehow. We'll probably hand fight. That's probably the most.
The one I do. This arm, yeah, make that little claw on that. There you go. Good. And then I usually like to go side by side. One.
This is gonna be a hard one.
Now, and karate chop with your left hand. Yes. No, don't take it out. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So that when you shoot that right arm this way now.
I'm fighting for my life.
This hand.
I've seen that.
Robert,
That's
Robert.
Robert.
Yes. There you go. Yes. No, you let his head come out. His head comes out, it's all gone. So watch. Yeah. Come out. So stand up where I was so you can see my top view.
Yeah, you would roll all the way.
I lost the darts though.
You can still finish it. You still got it from second class. You can finish the next.
I did lose the connection with my hand though.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
lost the sync.
you get to the top. Again.
Yeah.
Top.
Yeah, well, if you keep it.
You know, I beat all I'm not getting.
You good?
Right there. Sit on that. I'll bring you.
No.
Take shoes. Over.
I'm not doing
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yes, you were.
Oh, so you're using that wrist one?
Yeah.
Okay. So.
I know this is right.
Yeah. There's little bitty things like that. So.
But I think it's fine.
Right, so even if I got steam on it, I said,
Hurts you a little bit.
so I can hear. All this.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
You
keep
get more,
both my hooks in just to see. I'm
Once you
having a
get-
hard time getting it back in around.
That started getting hungry, right?
Mhm.
And you like that.
Yeah, I'm playing it and I've been looking at that thing this whole time.
So you're like this, and then
When you fall.
to let you go in order to get the.
So like, now I take your left shoulder to the floor. Now, yeah, I want to extend that left leg. And then you do this. Yeah, but it'll be process legs.
Okay.
Hey, guys, just real quick on this one. This is kind of cool. If I try to go straight to here, yeah, like this. Yeah. So, let's go this way so I can see, because I can only do this on one side. So, so we go here, I get my drag, I go like this, right? If I go boom here, like, look how shallow that is, right? So I better have some long ass arms. If you got long ass arms, then just go straight to there, right?
We know, Freddie.
But if your arms are short or they're big or he's thick through here, then you're gonna need like all the extra like distance that you can. So that's why from here. So watch this versus here. See, I pull my wrist deeper. Now look how much deeper, right? So this isn't just to, it's faster on the initial catch and it's stronger, but it also gets my wrist deeper. You see? Okay. And then also like, even if that's shallow, when I grab this part of his head, I keep walking up, right? I'm using your chin. So you, this like catch, hold, right? Weather the storm a little bit. He's gonna be spazzing. All right, cool. Oh, now I got it. Make sense? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, there's that. I want to show one more thing. I had like 8 things, but I want to show one more thing if that's okay. Cool. All right. So, so let's look at using, because I thought this is good connective tissue, because I don't know what you're gonna show, but I feel like I feel like sometimes whenever Ryan shows a lot of Russian stuff, like he shows like the Russian pinch thing. And so this kind of is in that same neighborhood. So we're doing that. So something else that you can look to do from here, I can use this drag concept with the hands opposite here to get to this position. Okay, you see. So I'm not going outside grip here anymore, right? This time instead, I'm starting with a burrito grip like that, right? And then once I pull that burrito grip here, I'm going to take the anatomical snuff box, which is an actual Grey's Anatomy term, and I'm going to use that to punch here. You see, right? So we're going here. Burrito grip is not an anatomical term, but so we get here 1, 2, now punch. So see, I've got that folded now. You see. Now from here, like if he doesn't do a good job responding, I can take this out here and it's already starting to like jack his shoulder a little bit, yeah. But a lot of times he'll try, because it's hard for him to pull his elbow back, he'll pull his hand back, which is cool. It's fine with me, yeah. So I keep this hand pressed into him, and I'm going to remove this hook. Which hook? The hand I'm holding on the wrist. This is my right hand. My right hook is going to come out. Okay. So once this right hook comes out, right, I'm going to throw this not to a triangle, but to the other side of his head, right? But I can't get it there. It will fall down. Okay. So go here and fall back. Now look at what happened to my hand here. See how I latched that through? Right there. So I had to move my hand off of his wrist here, this way, to make that connection. Now, that pulled him forward and allows me to get my left foot on his hip. Yeah, I'm going to push away from that post on his hip, and I'm going to try to find his armpit over here. Okay. Right. Now, if I make it all the way this way here, and it's not getting the tap, I can still get access to this arm over here. But most of the time, like this is all I need. So I start rotating, and this elbow is going to retract here, right? And if you're like, this is really like crushing my balls on this one, right? You can just deal with it. So when we're here, right, it's kind of supposed to be, but so again, I like on this one here, because like rather than trying to figure out, okay, shit, what kind of grip am I supposed to get? Start with a burrito grip, all right? From a burrito grip here like this, I can drag with the things we did before, right? Or I can drag this way and get into this like reverse kimura position, right? So now from here, this is pressing in. I'm going to remove this, toss it over. So I take my hand out of the way and I get this here. So I'm biting on his shoulder, yeah? I'm pressing on his hip and then I'm rotating that way, okay? This hand's going to be searching for his armpit over on this side. But honestly, you shouldn't really even need it, okay? Yeah, it is. It's a funky style of your shoulder. This is called a burrata plata. Again, like if you're into the name stuff like I am, then that would be the terminology. Burrata plata. My favorite. I don't know what burrata means, but it's a nickname for a man named Rafael. Damn it. No. Rafael Freitas. Yeah, that's his name. Rafael Freitas. They call him burrata, and he hit this on a lot of people, so they named the technique after him. All right, so burrata plata. Any questions about it? Do you want to see the worm's eye or the bird's eye view? Okay. Got it?
Will you switch sides and do it again?
All right. Do what?
Will you switch sides and do it again?
Sure. Yeah, I guess I was kind of obscured a little bit. All right, so we get here. Burrito grip. Is this cool? Yeah. Here. Punch. Hook. So I'm punching him in the gut with his own hand. Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. So here, I'm going to remove this leg here. As I fall back, I'm letting go of the wrist, and I'm using this hand to my thigh. Right, that way. This foot now, because he's overextended, can step on his hip. And then as I turn, I keep this bite here. Don't let this leg be too soft. bite, pull your elbow towards your ribs, and push away from your left foot on this hip. Okay? Cool? Let's try it, guys. 1, 2, 3. Thanks, sir.
Thank you. Want to start with your burrito grip?
Don't forget it's
Go ahead out.
Burrito.
Or am I-
Get into a pinch, yeah. Yeah, that's it. Then this leg gets released. Over the top, yeah.
Bringing it around.
Yeah, but, yeah, so this hand catches your thigh here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Start putting this foot on my hip, you start going that way.
Can you part my wrist?
Yeah. See how your forearm is in there? If you go too
He's like,
close, you're not gonna have this good of like you want the bony part because you want the bony part because that bony part is gonna dig into the muscle. That's what's gonna cause a lot of the pain too. And it's gonna give you honestly a better leverage point than if you
I
are.
don't feel anything.
In fairness,
My shoulders.
What's that here? Burrito grip. Yeah.
Burrito grip.
There you go.
Your left hand goes behind us, okay? Yeah, with that.
That
Yeah.
foot goes
And your
on
right leg's
here.
gonna come
Bite,
out, step
you
over
said?
your shoulder.
Yeah. And you start moving, yeah, that's it. Keep
No,
going.
that was too hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, so keep that. when you I didn't- that's a little-
I don't know how to answer that because it felt crappy for me.
Now your left hand goes back.
Don't pat on my shoulder. Good.
Yes.
You gotta touch your own thigh. Break away.
Press your, put yourself away from your left foot.
Okay, here we go. Burrito grip.
Yeah, sometimes it's sensitive, it's really tender on the muscle here, but it's a shoulder issue on the shoulder.
Yeah, you can.
Hey, Eli.
Yes, sir.
Are you grabbing your own thigh when you're holding it?
Yeah.
So, walk us through. Go ahead.
Got this arm, yeah.
So
Here, this leg comes out.
your right foot, yes.
Now it goes. Turn yourself, you can go get this side.
Yes.
No, I'm trying to.
I actually felt like I could get out.
I'll get it.
Sorry, Nick.
No, it's the one detail.
Yeah.
I started on the right side the first time.
Oh, yeah, put your thigh over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
This is the three different parts for it, but I mean, it's everything after. Passive.
We can do that.
This way, right?
Myself and my, with this, yeah, with the hand holding my wrist, I was holding the wrist, you need to punch it in my hand. Yeah, like that.
I like to keep calm up on this, honestly, to get clear. And you don't have to change it from.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, don't try to do the wrist lock.
As you fall back, you can get
We're gonna
around
make
it.
it something that
So you want your right to go
because
to
if you could get it.
my right shoulder, okay, the far side.
So now.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not. The leg that your arm out on the same side over the head.
Don't take that left foot up.
Yeah, that's tight.
What am I doing wrong?
Which one do you want? Left or right?
I got here, yeah?
So yes.
Okay.
Now you're left.
I'm bringing this over
It's gonna go on.
underneath your pinch, yes. Yeah. Punching it in, yes. This leg comes out. This leg.
No.
No.
This is the time.
Here, just here. Okay, I was using.
Here. Right, so I get this, but don't tell me. Do you eat it on the
That's
side?
not tight.
Okay. Here.
Yeah, it is. That's not good.
Wrap around, touch my own leg.
The leg isn't what I.
Left foot steps on it. Sorry, I didn't. Okay.
And then.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I did it right?
Let me try one more time, then I'll pass it over. I don't want to.
I know every single time that you try and get over that, it's kind of pulling you up.
I mean, it comes out
Every single time.
over the top. And I'm catching this.
It's okay.
This one comes out.
You haven't tried
Now,
it.
don't, turn that way. Stay on your back.
Put in my,
And bring your head.
put in my stomach, do not lean back yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was it.
Thank you. All right, your turn, sorry.
No, you're good.
Far side, yeah, that's good. Nice and tight. And you want your other foot planted on my hip, I believe. You want it somewhere on my
Right.
body so you can get some leverage there. And then
Yeah.
push away from that while bringing, I think you said your
Yeah.
elbow to your hips.
Enough box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quit hitting yourself.
Yeah. Is that it? No?
And then.
You're
Out.
close.
Right.
That was it.
Yeah, I mean, it's,
Yeah.
I don't fucking like doing so, I was tapping. really,
Okay.
but that should-
I mean-
No, I didn't think. But at the same time, if you're not getting it, and it's not hurting us at all.
Hurry, don't write it on now.
Quit hitting
That's
yourself.
how- So what I did there, and whatever
Out.
Position that was, cause I kind of just like all in and just made it like, yeah.
That sounds like the.
Okay, that makes
same
sense.
with the bring your elbow to your.
Okay,
wrist.
now I can-
You still wanna, whatever foot's on the hip.
I thought it works.
He's trying to help. Yeah.
Good?
Yeah.
Figured it out.
So you're going this way and this way, you're getting stretched.
So. Okay, just a quick reference.
I know, it helps.
Crap.
I know.
It's going to be yes.
Really tired. Same side, so your right hand's gonna be on his wrist.
Sorry, do you want to do the other shoulder?
Your left
No.
hand, your left wrist is
Not
gonna.
bad.
it's gonna-
Okay.
Get your leg out.
Awesome.
Talk about.
let's wait that again.
Yeah.
What's that? Just your wrist.
You got bony wrists.
You got bony wrists.
Yeah.
Oh, I was-
Don't go that deep, don't go that deep.
Yeah.
I feel like I have a lot of energy right here. Not your front. Yes. Now it's this. Take your right foot out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how it
No,
works.
don't like
Yeah.
that.
But we were always going over. Okay, then.
I don't wanna touch you anyway.
Right, keep here. So once your right leg starts to come over, take your right hand. out. There you go. And then your left hand goes on your thigh.
Yeah.
Left hand on your thigh. Yes, good. Don't get up on your side, stay on your back, stay flat on your back. Stay flat on your back. Yes, now take your left foot and post it on the hip. Nice, stay on your back, stay on your back, stay on your back, stay on your back, stay on your back.
Well,
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Good, now,
your leg on your right.
bring your leg on your back, but on your head right here. Don't get on your thigh, don't get on your side, stay on your back. Yes, yeah. Yeah, you see what I mean? If you get on your side, you relieve the pressure. If you stay on your back and rotate, you intensify.
Yeah, no, like your foot over the right spot.
Oh, no, I
I
tried to
think
do it.
it's required.
I'm still focusing on your back, right?
No, I'd rather you go.
Like I said, teammate,
What's that?
like I said, teammate.
Oh, hey Freddie, do you know how to get this? What's that? We're just realizing it takes some.
Time out real quick.
Never mind.
Yeah, don't, my last, like, just thoughts about this here real quick. This reverse Kimura kind of position, this is an option for now. Like, there's different things, like, there's different, options from, here, right? So like, if we get here like this, over here, and I get here like this, and you're like, okay, so now I want to do the burrata plata, so I got to do these stains, right? But then when I get here, he starts coming forward on me too much. Shit, how am I gonna get my leg out of it, right? I was like, well, don't. It's fine. So you don't,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Or
So obvious for right.
like, or I get here and I'm like, how am I gonna get my leg all the way here? And it's like, well, don't. Just go to the triangle.
Yeah.
Right? That's cool too, you know? Or it's like I get here and his hand's way out here. I'm like, well, shit, I can't get the leverage point. And it's like, well, let's go here, right? Yeah. So it's like, I mean, you gotta, good grappling is, as opposed to great grappling, which is a whole different thing. But like a good grappling is, I don't even know those people. I don't know why I took a shot. That was just, it's just right there. I don't even know. So, what are we talking about? Good grappling is taking what's being given to you. and it's reacting appropriately in the situation. Like that's what governs efficiency, is appropriateness of behavior, right? And so I want to do the most efficient thing possible all the time. And I harp on this a lot, but it's like, that's the constant journey, right? Because it's like, I get somewhere in proximity to where I know something. It's not quite the right condition, but it's like close. I try to just wrestle fuck it in there, you know? And you know, that's fine, because it's probably still more efficient than just making something up on the fly that doesn't match the energy whatsoever. But it's like, you know, as you go on, you train, and more reps and more drills and the more live rolling and more live sparring and everything else, it, again, the lines start to kind of blur and gray a little bit. It's not now about, I have to know the specific step-by-step techniques. I can modify it on the fly because I'm matching the energy now, right? So that, again, the technique is just a delivery vehicle for the principle that underlies it. And it's all to make us more efficient, you know, in that fighting context, to like go with the energy a little better rather than direct opposition to the energy. Direct opposition is won by the more powerful person, right? And you don't come into a place like this to learn how to be more powerful, right? You go to the gym to be more powerful. You take steroids. That's what you should do. Right?
For the record, you're advocating for us to all do steroids?
100%. Yeah, that's whatever, you know, whatever makes you the biggest, strongest, fastest, most powerful version of yourself. You know, if that's your goal, but it's also good to have very efficient techniques, so you don't have to like incorporate that for every single thing that you do. Yeah. All right. Any questions about any of the stuff we worked on, guys? Just quick recap. We looked at arm drags from different kind of connection points, the difference between smacking and circling to drag, and you know, when that's appropriate and everything. Looking at how to initiate contact to get them to respond, that sets you up the opportunity to arm drag. Looked at from pummeling. And then we looked at a couple takedowns. We looked at one that's a little bit more driving into them using that small inside trip, which is what that would be called, versus the more of the drag, right? More like Marcelo Garcia style. And then kind of how to recover off of that a little bit too. Talk briefly about maybe a little bit more self-defense oriented arm drag. And then we looked on the ground at butterfly guard, looking how to take the back off of that arm drag. We looked at the marsh choke, this little head and arm choke that we did from it. And then I think we worked, that was the last thing until this broad applaud of the shoulder lock we did. Yeah. All right. That was just a few things. I had like 7 more things. I don't know why.
Next hurricane.
So
Yeah.
thought this was a day-long seminar.
Yeah. Yeah. I always like over prep. All right. So any questions about that stuff, guys? No? All right. We'll stick around for some Russian pie stuff. What's the break? 5 minutes? 3 minutes? 2 minutes?
45 seconds.
45 seconds. All right. Cool. Thank you, guys. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Ian. You get nothing to
So you're better at problem jiu-jitsu or 50-50?
I don't know how I quantify it, but I'd definitely say like.
And it's all just complete visual. You're changing the levels, it's kind of like looking at the dragging and stuff. And you know, I think it's something that's really needed, you know, but it is cool to see like.
That's why. We want to be
Yeah.
known that.
Yeah, I know it's not bad.
We do.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's going let's see. Danford. And it was all about solar drills. Yeah, don't forget about that instruction. But they
All right, I'm getting started just because all this downtime is just more we have to upload. So you jump in when you're ready to jump in. So we're gonna first just look at, and look, we can spend a whole seminar on how to get to this position. I'm not gonna do that. We'll look at just a couple of little drills to do that. So I'm gonna feed Amber a single collar tie. She does her head clear. If you're in my class this morning, get the Russian tie. That's what we're doing.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's finally time to grab the arm.
If I give her a single collar tie on the other side, she does the same. If I grab her wrist, you just did drags with Eli. Now you're gonna drag as the Russian tie as your point of reference. So I can grab, I can push, I can grab. Okay, so if I go here, she's hitting her head clear, boom. If I go here, she's hitting her drag. If I post on the shoulder, she's gonna hit her drag. Okay, whatever I feed her, she's just looking to get to this Russian tie position. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
One side's feeding, one side is drilling, and I'll switch you. Oh, there you- Woo!
We get to grab the
Okay,
arm.
sounds good.
That's what I'm saying, please don't let me.
Talking their own.
Hold on, hold on. Sorry.
We're doing arm drag from.
Go attack, switch, let your partner drill the same thing.
Yep, you're.
I bring them here, right? Here.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I don't know if I want.
You can jump in whenever you want. You're feeding it, so I'm feeding you. Still feeding you.
Good time? Any questions on that? I think it's pretty straightforward. I mean, if you're training here, you've done that or some version of it. So look, for the purposes of this workshop, this and this and this and this are all Russian ties. Okay, I'm not gonna get pedantic about this should be under, this should be over. This people, I don't care. Okay, I'm controlling her arm somewhere near her shoulder and somewhere near her wrist. Okay, I might be grabbing the wrist or hand over, under. I might be hooking this way. I don't care about any of that for the purposes of what we're doing today. Okay, fair enough. All right, so if I get to this Russian tie position here, I'm gonna step to the side that I'm controlling, and hopefully I force her to pivot. As she pivots, I'm gonna step in. I'm gonna pin this arm to her body here. I'm gonna lock my hands at her waist. I'm driving off of this back foot. I want to pull her hips into mine as I drive her shoulders back with my head. And then this foot's gonna step. Okay. Now, you're gonna finish, you should finish in top half. Okay. Depending on how I got here, you could finish in mount if she had a very narrow stance, but from this setup, you're probably gonna finish in top mount. For me to effectively take somebody down, I need to get her shoulders somewhere out from over her hips. North, south, east, west. Okay. Her shoulders stay over her hips is gonna be very hard to take them down. Unless you're just bigger and stronger and just pick them up and throw them where you want. Okay. Take those steroids that Eli was recommending. I got my Russian tie. I'm gonna step. I force her to step. I'm gonna take that space here. I'm at her waistline, palm on palm. I'm gonna drive with my head, forcing her shoulders past her hips. This leg is driving, and then it's gonna step around. Here, and you're gonna finish top half. Keep this body locked. Okay.
Questions?
And you can, I don't care where you go from that. My job is not that part. My job is to get to that part. All right? Questions? You should finish top half. Freddie, you could finish mount all day though. You could step both feet on both sides of somebody's and just walk them down. And all I mean from that is like, if I was here and I go bump, bump, and I literally finish top mount. Okay. Go. Alright, let's go 3 for 3. 4, 3. Woo!
We don't have.
No, neither one of y'all is finishing the mountain. I don't know, you might finish the mountain against each other.
Wow, that's why you gotta wrestle children.
So rude, so rude.
Literally exactly why I wrestle children.
I can step down.
Oh, is that good?
I can step. Step here.
Okay, look good. Keep your body locked, so sit back on, get back on top of it. You good?
What?
Don't need to do that.
Close to the head you can get.
Yes.
Now, force his shoulder past his, now just walk over there. Yep, go ahead, pass that, go past it.
Keep your body locked, keep it there.
Noise. That was going too, you know, I kept it.
Oh, yeah.
Left off, but then on the door, so that's- Keep your body locked.
Kept it when I went down.
But when you're down, keep your body. It's just gonna make it worse for you. Well, you keep your body locked. Now you poke and touch for it, as you feel my head bit. Keep your body. I mean,
You gotta get up at some point, Nick. Yeah, but I think.
Look, time, real fast. When I get here and I step in and I step around and I break her down this way, I'm keeping this body locked. Because if I don't, if I let her go, she's gonna immediately start shrimping away from me. She's gonna hit the floor and start moving. She's mine now.
Oh.
Damn it. But she's all right for that one. Okay. I mean, if you're a little bitch, I guess maybe.
Alright, well, you will not find this recording on YouTube. I'm not doing that work.
What happened? Boom, here. I keep this. Maybe I go ahead and pass from here. Sam would land in a position where she could immediately pass. Do it. Okay? Unless you just really like top half, which is fine. Depends on context. What are we doing? You know, what are the rules if there are? Okay. All right, Jill, on 3. Woo!
Okay, my.
I know.
I get it. So
To get off the person, you have to keep it.
I'll go.
About to go home. I ride it. Until you release it. Oh, it can be.
But the thing is, his spine is sitting on his lock.
And you got my lower ribs, maintain them locked in.
You're right, is what you're saying?
Yeah, it sucks. Okay,
That's exactly what I want.
but now
Keep your cheek so.
I'm going to release
You don't
it.
need to.
Mother scraper.
You don't need to.
I gotta move.
Step pivot, then penetration step.
I'm not disagreeing with you. Pivot.
Hey, I'm just gonna say your wife is being super extra today.
Listen.
Like extra. Like I understand what you're just now showing up.
Yeah. These MFs are playing. That's what happened.
Oh,
Huh?
hard to breathe in that circle, you know.
Cool.
No,
You woke up the way today.
There's actually that.
He pulled the man, he pulled the, I'm the man and I pay the bill.
I never said no shit like
Yeah,
that.
he did. Yeah, he did. All those things.
Fine.
He pulled that card, man. He really
She's
did.
like a woman.
Wow.
They're never gonna let us on Zoom again.
Hey, if you could have failed that.
Thank you.
One more minute, let's go.
Hey, E, tell her to keep the body locked.
I'm not keeping the body locked.
It's your body lock. Don't many like it, but that one is yours.
When I get ready to release.
Then you go back in the guard. Okay?
Only because I didn't transition. I gave him the space to do that.
What I'll do is.
You're right.
Exactly.
I have this body lock and I'm.
And he didn't do all that. I don't have really shrimp. He had his shoulder smaller than hand. The difference between you and her is that. I am, you had arms on my face, and then you moved, and then you released. That's all.
Right, yeah.
By the time you release, you are. And you pressure.
Yeah.
And then.
It's-
And then you. She bails.
From same position, again, I don't, how you got here, it doesn't matter too much. If we need to work on that, just let me know and we can. Any of the three ways that we did right in the warm up, but there's tons of different ways of making this happen. So again, I'm gonna step towards the controlled arm side, make her step a little bit. As I step now, I'm gonna take the hand that I'm controlling, the wrist that I'm controlling, and I'm gonna send it over here. I'm just gonna pass it across this way. As I pass it across, I'm gonna put my shoulder on her hip. Okay, just using it to set up a single. I've got 2-on-1 Russian tie. I step, I make her step. I know she's gonna want to pull away from me here. As she does, I'm gonna pass this across. Boom. Gather up the single. And again, like there's like 8 million ways to finish a single. If we need to look at some, we can. Get the single. Okay, once you get the single, we can play with different ways of finishing. Get to my Russian, I step, I make her step. I'm gonna step in as I pass. I'm gonna pass this across. I know she's gonna be wanting to pull away from me. She's gonna be wanting to pull her arm away. I'm gonna give it to her. As I do, I push, so it should make that foot light, or that foot heavy and this foot light. Gather the single. I'm intentionally, when I gather my single, the arm that's behind is palm down. The one that's in front is palm up. Just gives her less hand fighting options. Okay? Questions? One more time? Yeah. Pass it. As I send it across, I'm going to take the space that her arm was occupying. Okay?
Okay.
4-3.
Yes.
Let's just get there first.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, you want it back?
Yes.
Okay. My hand go like this. Get on.
Come back, yes, there you go. Now you got it.
On it.
Uh-oh.
Hi.
Very good.
Tell me this. You making this good. Push.
I have to look at my watch while I'm going in, that's how I remember.
It's a tangent.
Turn it up for a big death drop.
There you go.
I'm still getting my stuff. Finish.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'll push a little bit with this on it to get you.
Well, I just,
To hold that.
so sat in the room a little bit, and while I would rather you just not give up head position, it does happen. So if I don't get my head in, and maybe she doesn't even get her head in, but we're here like this, and we end up almost kind of neutral. I can still do the same thing. I'll be heavy on the shoulder. I'm just gonna kind of hook behind this foot here. Again, I would like to have the head control. But for a moment in time, my head's not there, her head's not there, whatever, we're wrestling around, moving, whatever, and I go here. Now I'm gonna do the same thing as before, okay? I'm gonna push across. I'm gonna gather the single the same way. I'm just blocking, I'm just stopping. I can't even not put my head. I'm here. No, that's a different one.
Yeah.
We're gonna do that. I'm just here, okay? This. Maybe we're wrestling. I got my 2-in-1. I just kind of lost some connection here. So I'm gonna block this. I'm gonna pass this across. Okay. I would like to stay pretty high here. I'll let my arm drag a little bit. I would like to stay pretty high on the shoulder as I push this one across. I'm just blocking this wood. Cool. So we were here. We finished here. We set this one out. Lift. Okay. Tons of different finishes from here. We're gonna do one of my favorites. Take this one out. Outside of the knee. I'm gonna roll her knee to the inside as I step away from her. Okay. Okay. There. Questions? Walk it back. Make a step over toe hold. In the face crank. Don't do all that. Or maybe do it.
I was about to say, I don't know how you're gonna put that there.
Questions? Opening. Woo!
Expect them. not
He's
to-
living here. So we're-
Here. Through. You see it, you're like, there's no way. There's no way that works.
I noticed he's slacking off over there. Can't believe that.
Oh, time, real fast. If I get here, this, and I do this, but Fred doesn't fall, okay. We got his back. Take his back. Right, I got my single. Here, he's hopping around. I'm like, oh my God, that's a lot of leg. Oh my God, this is not working. Get on his back. Okay. Don't spend so much time trying to chase it. You have an avenue to the back, take it. And he's at that point, he's almost given up his back and trying to get his leg back. To get his leg away from him. Let it go get his back. Okay. So if you find, I'm not saying do this, but if you find yourself in that, where you've gotten them turned over and they're still hopping and you're not able to finish, put the leg down and go take their waist, go take their body. Okay? 4, 3.
You went over there to get a back crack.
Sorry, hurt your foot.
Oh, you're fine.
That's fine.
You went over there to get a back crack.
No. If I want something, we can.
I'm sure you have a problem.
Yeah.
You didn't have it.
Right, you can't take it down though, so you didn't with the. That's behind you. You're not
So far away.
same spot.
It's so bad.
You wanna give up the takedown because you're like, I don't like my knee going.
Exactly.
Yep.
I mean, two gets, if you get them there, going back really fast, they're going. Like in here, we're drilling, we're being nice to our partners, but my tip, I go here, she. It's going to the ground. They're not gonna keep up with me on one leg.
Those are my weaknesses, all that.
With their posture broken.
Oh, you're talking to me.
No.
Oh.
They all look like.
One side.
I like that one.
Sorry, fell away.
Next,
Have fun.
Okay.
45 seconds.
They all got the same.
Bye,
Okay,
Yeah, that's the way that would work.
I ain't gonna beat one.
Oh. Go get,
All right.
go bring the dog.
Look at Eli.
What am I doing? So. We get here, got my Russian arm, I got my head inside, whatever. We started with like the hand fighting and whatever, and we were using it as a way to get to the Russian arm position. This time, if my foot, on the control side, my foot ends up behind her, we're gonna do one thing. If it ends up in front, inside, we're gonna do another thing, okay? So if I've got this Russian tie position and she starts hand fighting me here, okay, she wants to strip this hand, right? If my foot is behind, okay, listen, if you feel like your grip is gonna go, you know when your grip is gonna go before she knows when your grip is gonna go, or you should, right? That makes sense?
Yes.
I should know when my grip is about to give way. She might think she knows, but she doesn't really know. I know the moment that my grip is about to be gone. Okay. So when I'm here, she starts hand fighting this. Instead of me letting her rip my hand off and then we have to chase and go with second, third, fourth plan A. Instead of that, when she gets here, or maybe I'm even baiting her to do this, right? When she goes to hand fight this way, I'm going to pass this across and it's going to be my back take. Okay, I'm going to give it to her. Doesn't matter where my grip is. She goes to hand fight. My foot is behind. It's going to stay behind. I'm going to run behind her. As she's pulling, I push. Okay.
You didn't see him, but he choked me.
As she's pulling, I push. How do I negate her pull? Give it to her. She's pulling, and especially if it'll be harder this way, but if I end up with this over grip here, it'll be easier for her to strip this. And again, this isn't wrong. This isn't wrong. Both are going to have pros and cons. Okay. But if I've got this one and she's hand fighting to pluck this off that way, now if you paid attention to Eli's, of course, here's your drag. She's going to get on my back or take a Russian on me or whatever. So I know my grip's about to go. I'm not going to let it. She's pulling, I push. I move behind her. Okay. And now from here, everybody can work from here. I could pin this elbow. I could keep the 2-on-1 this way. I'm not too worried about that right now. Let's just get to this place. So however we get to our Russian tie, whichever grip I have, she starts the hand fight. I pass it and take her back. Okay? 4-3. Woo!
4.
There's a bunch.
You know what I mean?
So kind of a hockey stick.
That's when that scissor bump is going handy.
So,
You know what I'm saying?
I'll do it real quick. So if we're in the back, I'm doing it out here. So I'm planting this one like a hockey stick.
Is that good? If I have you, can I do this and drop?
Well, I'm taking side when you take it back.
There you go.
Here. And then.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Second best.
Here.
How about your batter?
There you go.
Oh. Oh, you mean, pick up, and jump?
Amber just went to the bathroom.
Okay. Yeah. Here and then this. I didn't do that one.
Not what I'm using.
Yeah, I want it back. And then you're taking it back.
Boom. And instead of trying to go, I like using it, pull them, punch them, but a lot of times it's like too heavy. They feel that, like.
Here.
There you go.
I'll do it right now. I'm trying to. Yeah.
Okay. That's what we were.
Yes. I did that like 6 times. Now pay attention every now and then. Glad you're in our group.
Yeah, oh, no, it's not like. You go choke? Yeah. You go get it. Dang.
Okay, so everybody gets it back, okay?
Has to be too.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Let's, over here, like, there's a question about, okay, well, if she goes to hand fight, can I go here? Yeah, but why would you take the side if you can take it back? I'll take the side if that's what I've got, if that's what's available to me. But if my foot is already behind here, and I do this, all of this is uncontested. This is the easy way to go, and I mean, if we were gonna create a hierarchy of positions, chest to back is about as good as it's gonna get. Okay, I'm not saying this is bad. I'm not saying there aren't options here. But the reality is that there's a million things we could do from all these positions, right? I have to pick a handful for today, right? So if my foot ends up in front this way, so now I don't have the back take anymore. Amber starts looking to hand fight here, okay? And again, it doesn't really matter where my grip is. Amber starts looking to hand fight. So this time, as I feel that pull going, I'm going to step around and do a far side duck. Okay. Again, my foot is in front this time. I'm here. Maybe I have head control, maybe I don't. Okay. Should, but things happen. So instead of this, I'm here. That's where we ended up in the fight. I'm gonna look to step and pivot towards her, and as I do, I know she's pulling this hand. I'm doing this. And I'm throwing it over my head as I level change. Think about putting your forehead under the armpit. Your ear should trace them. Okay, I want to stay connected. My foot's in front. Here, I feel that pull happening. I'm going to step. And as I step, I'm going to do this slow if I can. As I step, I'm doing this. Okay. And now, because it is a long way to go, if you end up on the side, that's fine. Okay. Here. You can get all the way to the back, that's fine. Okay, but it's much further to go this time, right? Here. I'm immediately on the back. Here, I'm in front, but I gotta go all the way over here. So if I end up here, this is okay. What takedown did you just hit from with Eli from here? You were disconnected. But if I can, yeah, if I continue stepping here and I pull here. Okay. You don't need to do all that. Get to their back or get to their side. And then you'll have lots of takedown options. We'll drill 2 takedowns off of each of these in a minute. So this time your foot's in front. All right. Remember, partners, you're gonna hand fight. Oh, 3.
Woo!
Back in.
Oh,
I'm gonna say.
all right, here we go.
Not like.
Listen.
I have my own, but like.
Listen,
For work on my
you
shoulder.
said that at the wrong
What are
time.
you doing? You're taking.
You said you was gonna sit around with me.
No.
So I thought this
No,
was-
you, I didn't know you cared.
Sure.
You can have some time or keep it just that.
Right.
Yep.
I gotta think, wow, got it. Ready for next time.
Listen.
Yeah, pulling guard over here. What the hell? I didn't know Marines did that.
I was straight behind me. That's so far to go. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's probably.
Yeah. Have enough of my.
Yeah, exactly. If you wanna just work one side.
No, you're good. I just can't throw that.
Yeah. How bad? Yeah. Oh, no, I got it. There's no good way of fighting that. All right.
Yeah, not that going to Bible grade.
All right. So on the first one, if my foot ends up behind, we're making that back take. All right, I'm chasing here. This. Now, there's a lot of different takedowns that you can do once you've gotten to somebody's back, and there's some fancier than others. We're not gonna be fancy. My head is on this side, so this is the side I'm gonna choose to take her down on. Because my hands ends up outside, I'm gonna attach to her hip or her elbow here. Most of you have done this with me or some version of it. I'm gonna look to make her as heavy as I can on this leg by using her own elbow and forearm into her hip crease. Okay. I want her weight there, but also my weight there. I'm biting this in here. Now I'm gonna step out away from the position that I'm in, and I'm gonna drop her in the place that I'm leaving. Okay. This is a low amplitude takedown. You're gonna place them where you want them. Usually you can start looking to attack straight from there. Here, my foot's behind. She starts hand fighting. Boom. I want to make this leg heavy. Now I'm gonna step out of this space. Okay. Questions? 3.
Woo! No, too slow. He was about to ask for one more, but.
Oh.
That's too slow.
Take it. I'm gonna take it. No, you know, well, I mean, you can go. Oh, you're going to the back. You're like, you're supposed to go me.
So you're gonna pass it, it's not so pulling you, you're going behind me that. And then, yeah, go back. Hold my elbow in your pocket and then put my.
Good, I'm just think about it. Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, well, you know. That's sticks for me, like, that's where I live. Stop.
My nipples. Yeah.
My mom says as long as I'm not answering.
There you go. I know this.
Said if I start answering something, you can go.
Okay.
Oh, I do. You're fine. No, it's been easy, so nice and easy.
Alright. If my foot ends up in front, she starts hand fighting. I look to hit that duck, okay? So as I step around this way and I hit my duck here, we go right into a double. Okay, if I don't continue to step all the way around, right, we go right into a double leg here. I can move around to the side, and then this way I'm gonna bump. I use my head, this here. Put her hands on the mat. Okay, back take. Or obviously you can go all the way to their back, and then you can do the one we just hit. Or we're here, my foot ends up in front. I hit my duck, boom. I get all the way to the back here. I push, she resists.
There it is. Good old blunder snatch.
Okay. If we were talking over here, Freddie doing this far side duck on mat doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Okay. But Freddie's arms are long enough to where instead of doing that, instead of trying to do this and making that huge level change, his arms are long enough where he can go here and hit this far side arm bundle. Yeah. And now he could hit double leg, he could hit single leg, he could hit inside trip. There's a bunch of stuff he could do. Okay. His arms, like I can do it with Amber, but I'm not gonna be able to arm bundle a lot of people. He's gonna be able to arm bundle most people. Right. So if the duck under doesn't make sense here, this inside hand here. Okay. All right, so here she hand fights. Boom, boom, go double. Go to the side. I'm gonna hit a bump here. This one just blocks. Drive with the head. Okay. Hands on the mat. Questions? All three. Woo!
No, I got another. I never even straight up. No.
Jeez, like.
You're behind. I'll go side. Let double. So you're gonna block.
Said what?
Yeah, block the front of this. This one bumps. You're gonna go.
Yeah, so my hands.
Forward.
No answer. I don't know.
Closest thing I got right now.
Hand like that one.
And
Right.
that's what it is.
Here. I pick my duck this way. I'm blocking here. This one is gonna. I'm holding. Body.
I was like, right now, I'm like, what is it?
No, it's good.
My head drives and this drives.
Here.
Okay. You came my leg that make my upper body go forward.
Boom.
You should be going forward off this duck anyway. right, when I'm here like this. Continuing.
Keep turning.
Yeah. John, look, real fast.
Beating a cat.
She hand fights, and I hit this far side duck. If I hit this hard and dynamically and explosively, she's going forward anyway. So if I just block this leg and bump from behind here, it shouldn't be much. Does that make sense? Ideally, I'm not duck under, secure position, go.
Okay.
I'm showing it that way to break it down so you can see the pieces. But what I would like to do is, my foot's in front, as I go here, this is blocking. This one stops. This one is going to bump. My head is going to drive. She should be kind of going that way anyway, off of this.
Yeah.
Okay? On 3. Wrestling is explosive.
Well, you're honest about it.
That was there, but yeah.
So that's not wrestling. That was it. So you can have a little bit. Here. When you keep going, keep going. Don't back. Remember, you're going to the other side. So as I'm going, you hand fight, I fight.
You might be.
Is that what we're counting?
Yeah. Chin mouth, that's all.
Might be.
Yeah.
My inclination would be to do double.
Get you 2 more in the video. Some B-roll.
Get on my side. Yeah. Now bring me forward.
That was nice.
You're doing good.
Well, what we did, but.
Oh, try one more time. Here, you hand fight. Come on, you hand fight. Feel that?
You have to change your energy
Yeah.
to keep her.
Cause I feel, yeah, where she falls in the back.
But she's
It
going
was.
forward. But I'm going this way, and then all of a sudden I need to go back this way
Yeah,
to take advantage of her going forward.
yeah. Like a.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously, timing is gonna make a huge difference.
I'll keep practicing. Well, the last one, and then I'll get back in. Can we get it better?
Yeah.
It's
I got a fog, but it is a 7. Me too, man.
No.
You're on the floor, huh?
Well, you got in the fight. Yeah.
All right, time. Do we handle another one?
Why not?
First.
The whole thing. The whole shebang.
You can do
Stay
another.
away from that.
Done.
Like,
All right. So here, either she steps this foot back or I make her step that foot back. Now, how would I do that? One, I might just step on it. 98 times out of 100, they'll pull that foot away. Okay, and I literally just do this. She pulls that foot away. Okay, now obviously I can also go here and take that. Okay, or she steps it back. Right, she might just step it away as I get here. That's fine too. But if you need to induce it, step on their foot, get them to pull it away, or I'm gonna go inside this way, and I'm not doing like a big judo move here. It's a really small, tight move this way. Here, okay. Now I'm gonna climb her arm. So my left hand is gonna get replaced by my right hand. Here, my left hand is gonna go here. Okay. This hand is going to block that far ankle. I'm tight on this arm. I put weight on the shoulder. Look, you could drop to a knee, again, depending on rule sets, if there are rule sets. Here. This, keep driving.
Back to 25.
Questions? 1, 2. Climb, climb, climb.
Oh, yeah. Yes. What have you got?
Think. Attack. Hit the floor attacking. I'm not hitting the floor, establishing a position, chill and seeing what's up. Either control them, like we did on the first one, where I've got that body lock and I keep that body lock so I can keep working, or look to attack. Give them something to think about other than scrambling, other than shrimping their hips away, other than getting frames in, other than pulling guard. Okay. See it again, or are we good?
Good. We're good.
On three.
Woo! We're good. We good.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's-
Oh, yeah. It's just from them. I got all your smile.
And then you're getting this, yeah.
You're gonna do some stuff one way.
I know, you should. Is that your bag?
It's all that, so it's good, I got it. I got it covered.
We were, this week of the nation.
You're
That really fucking.
You
have like an arm bar. Yeah. I take it on,
I'm apologizing. I was here.
I was very control that.
So I don't think you need to slip anything. You just need to get hit.
That's it, that's it.
You were right where he was, yeah.
Around here.
Looks like I won't want my leg in another bit. Don't you waste my sword. Oh, you meant like the, I meant the whole, like him doing the.
I asked that
thing.
and you was
That's
like,
fine,
oh,
that's
the whole
fine.
time. you
Yeah,
know?
that's my fault.
Yeah, you got this figures crossed.
You're right.
Forget
Forget I was back for classes. If you exactly still. Almost stayed home. Okay, we're exactly what you asked.
Let's get out. Yeah, that's a good one.
So you're not doing Yeah, I mean, you said you could, but I am trying to pass your legs.
Yeah, cause I was like, I don't think I want to end up with the rest.
There were places. Okay.
Okay, man. Oh, I'm tired.
He just. Night, night. Stephen, all I can, just like, let's landing it on top.
Yeah.
Control on the beat on.
Did you put that icing mic up to your first phone? Or we can get this back to work? Do you have it in a Dropbox?
No, I put it on, I have it on there.
You do?
I got everything and like the lower you get.
Am I?
You got whatever you like. I got the whole thing.
Yeah.
Or you just need what I have.
Yeah, I wanted the icing mic that your footage that you took from that.
Somebody else's.
That was the only thing I know you
Everything
said.
on that.
I mean, I don't, but that's the name of the game. Making this one. Also,
Yeah, we can airdrop. it.
Oh, snap.
Okay.
Side, you good?
How much you have to make sure because you need.
You got it, yep. Yep. Walk around.
That was a weird configuration.
One more man.
To my credit.
Not see this to
I mean,
final
These are
point
paying
here.
attention. No, no.
Yeah. I was writing stuff there. Yeah.
Watch out.
You're right there.
Right?
Did it. Trying to break a light myself down.
Good stuff.
Questions?
39.
Everybody good? Okay. I get here, Amber puts her tiny little head in. Obviously, this is unacceptable. Okay, so we might move around a little bit, push, pull, whatever. I get her kind of stepping. I'm gonna kind of shoulder shrug, boom, this way to get her going forward, and then I'm going here. I'm stepping behind. Okay, if you need, the close hand can also go gather this side, whether it gathers the ankle or the knee or whatever I can get. Okay, but from here, stay here. From here, I have her back. Okay. I'm here, she gets her tiny little head in. I'm like, come on, let's be real. You're moving around, I hit this little shot. Here. Behind. I'm on her back. Okay. If you need the hand closest to her, you can go pick that ankle as well. Just like you just did on this last one. Right, on the last one, we did this and climbed our way up to the one that's closest. I could do that again. Probably don't need it. I don't know. With Freddie, you might. It's a lot of leg to go get, so you might go gather that other one if you can reach it. So we're here. I shut this free. I'm going here. So instead of in front, I'm stepping behind. And I'm literally just going to put my knee on the floor. Like this. Okay. If you want to go earlier and you go here, then you can block this one. Okay. Question. See it again, or we good? Yep. She gets, and look, I'm saying her head's inside. It doesn't have to be, right? I'm sorry.
Damn, that was loud.
I didn't process
Do that
it.
again. I'm here. I know only one of us is good from that. So it could be that my head's inside, right? We're moving them around, pushing, pulling, whatever, and I still do the same thing. That's fine. Okay. But I like it off of them getting their head inside because they feel like they're winning. And I mean, they really are for a second. Bonk. And I'm literally just dropping to my knee. Or, I mean, a lot of it just depends on how they fall, how they go to the floor. But here, boom, I can start catching already. Far side hip. Secure the waist. Keep climbing to their back, whatever. Okay. Far side knee down on the floor. Get her out. Punch them in the face. Questions? All three. I really like this one.
I like the hat vibe.
I just don't get it a lot because you have to screw up first. And let them have their head position. But it's a really easy, like, simple take home, I guess.
I like it here.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. I mean, I know it sounded.
Taco Bell.
But it wasn't that bad.
Fucking Taco Bell.
It's like coconut.
I don't know which one was ringing, but somebody was ringing. Guess.
Yeah.
And then what you're doing.
I didn't put my hands.
Okay, your turn.
Oh, I thought you were counting.
You better have faith.
So, he put his arm around it. I get mine because of that. Now it's,
Fix their elbow.
behind him in the back. Behind him.
That's what was there. That's what was there.
Think about putting you up here.
But-
Behind the scene.
You did also now.
It's a long day today.
It's great.
But like a whole work day, day.
No, it's dangerous.
Oh, yeah, you.
Boom, boom, the arm drag, he's with me. Yeah. I'm stuck behind.
I had to go squeeze this girl.
No, quick shot. No, I should be all right.
I got some circus peanuts.
Great circuit.
My grandma.
Oh, no.
You go around.
Okay, back to your body.
Yeah, yeah. I know. I want.
In my head.
I like that one.
Lovely.
Okay.
Simple almost.
Let's look at the other side. So if Amber has, I don't show a lot of like defenses for this because I don't want people to know them. Because I use it a lot.
Wow.
So if Amber has her Russian tigers, okay. So now look, this is one of those where like the tighter she holds, the better it's going to be for me. The easier it's going to be. Okay. So they got a really good, solid grip that kind of works to my favor. Okay. So the near leg, we did this little trip, this little bump earlier. I'm going to do that again. My free hand, the one over here, is going to grab her hand. Okay. So I'm going to go here. She just thinks I'm hand fighting. That's fine.
I have no idea what you're doing. So
I know.
Okay, great.
That's why I like it.
You're good.
My free hand is going to go to her hand. My near leg is going to do that same bump. And as I do that here, I'm going,
I'm plugging the one.
okay. I'm hand fighting. She doesn't really care about this. I can't, it would be really hard to just free this arm.
Yeah.
To free this hand, okay? I'm gonna go here. I hit this and I'm gonna limp arm, kind of bump with my shoulder and limp arm as I send this towards the floor.
I could throw something down.
Yeah. And it should give you their back again. Okay, it should give back exposure. Push and pull, I might play with. 'Cause I don't want her to know what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Right, so I might go here, half-ass here, whatever. And then when I go here, as soon as I'm grabbing this hand, I'm gonna go here. It's the same inside trip we did earlier. Bump. As I do that, I'm sending my shoulder and her hand towards the floor. Okay. You may get a big reaction, you might not. I'm looking to improve position, right? She has head control, she has the arm control. So any little thing I can get, I'll take. Right? And we've all looked at, okay, well, maybe I can try to go fill this space. I block this here, I hand fight this, you know, we've all looked at all that kind of stuff, right? It's all still valid. Again, the tighter she holds, the better it is for me. The more control she has, or the more force she exerts. You want to be super loose here.
Yeah.
The harder she holds, the looser you become. Okay. I grab the hand, I go inside trip. As I extend this leg, I'm pushing weight to this leg. As I extend this hand out. Limp arm. Questions? Yes. Superman punch, same motion, essential. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, you should get, back exposure.
Nice.
On three.
Woo!
Partner, grab it good, tight, 2-on-1.
Good, tight, cool. Oh, yeah. Little catchy pops. Elbows are still waking up. My knees got them out. My elbows. Sorry. Oh, that's gross.
No.
Yeah. You really wanna? No idea. We were working with a 7-year-old. Did you notice how his elbows were popping every time she punched? You were, yeah, you were working a mile more.
Little distant.
I mean, she pop, 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 pop. Like that should make me peaceful. Examples. It works.
That shot actually helped me a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has VA healthcare. I do not. So,
Yeah.
so now, I think I'm good. So I'm absolutely dying.
Like you're grabbing his hand like you're activating butt fast, like you're activating the order.
Yeah. If I try to catch his hand after the leg goes, then we go.
I thought it said no.
How you doing, E? It's right here.
I believe so. I think you're doing the inside.
And which hand?
That's grab his hand.
Like, here's a big red button. That's a big red button. Yeah.
And grab his hand first.
You're kind of slowly grabbing. You're fine.
Yes. Wow. That one, all right. Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Straight hand. You might take that hand out. You might go back.
That's me. Yeah.
Well, so I think you're not letting.
Sweet. Yeah.
That one.
Why?
Sunny out there.
So,
Sun.
had enough of those guys.
Sunshine.
Okay, I'm gonna go. So I'm going with you. Yeah. Yeah.
Cause I got shot.
Yeah.
Around,
Ground knee.
I started to hold this.
Hey, Sean. That's okay. Yeah.
Better.
It doesn't make a big sense.
Focus on work.
This is your shot.
Focus on work.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, you're right, but-
All right, guys. Questions on this one?
Yeah.
Listen, again, if they have a loose 2-on-1, I might get this, I might not. You might not get back exposure, but you might open yourself up to get an underhook. Like if I'm here like this, and here I get to this, I go to bump, and I don't totally get her posture broken, but I got the two, I got free of the 2-on-1. Then now it becomes a scramble. Right, who gets here first?
Look at that.
Okay. Second plan A. Go to the next theme. Okay. And the better you are, the more plans you'll have. Okay. All right, we'll look at one more kind of counter to this. Here. Okay. I'm gonna go, if you think about this hand punching that way and your body following.
Oh.
Wow.
So bad.
Oh, Mike's gonna be so happy to see that.
Near side pick.
You're sad.
Okay. Here. Boom. I'm gonna punch this hand through, almost like I'm gonna try to cup this far side quad thigh. Okay, I'm doing this. Whether I get there or not, whatever. But I know she's pulling my arm. Okay. My body is gonna follow, and if I go in hard enough here, it should force weight to that, allow me to pick this pretty easily. Now, live speed, we're full sand, and she should fall backwards, and she should fall to her back, right? I move around, maybe I hand fight a little bit, I play with some different stuff. I get her pulling me even more, I pull away, she pulls back, boom. Okay. I pull. She pulls. Make sense? Yes. All right, last one. 1, 3.
Like this. This one. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so I'm trying to pull and you pull.
What are you doing? You pulling away? Pull, you pull back.
Too hard left arm.
We've been doing this all day.
Wow. Look, you were punching me in the face earlier in the cradle. Don't even wow me. Don't you even.
You got kind of. Turn the wall.
You said what? You don't know how fucking figured out.
Hey.
Thought we had a lot of space over here.
You were watching.
All right.
You okay? All the way to the park.
Another 10 acres.
Ah, okay. He really was like. Gotcha.
Another one.
I don't feel much of the shoulder on it. But where?
Because once you stand up, like a hop, it's very similar to this.
Gotcha.
They say, yeah.
No. Yeah.
Oh.
Just.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Because you grabbed me at that side. Good.
You're right behind him.
You good?
Think about getting back.
Just whatever you.
Go back here.
Point your hand to me. Yeah.
It's like how do you like usual?
Time. All right, so, listen, I'm punching this hand across and my body follows. Okay. I pull, so she resists. As soon as I feel that, I'm going that way. And look, you could go to the floor with this, right? You could choose to sit out. I pull, she pulls. Okay, it just, again, it depends on rule sets. If there are rule sets, it depends on what your game is like. If you want to be there, great. You should finish on top. Okay, that's it. You want to see a guard pull?
Yeah. Do you want to record this or leave it?
I don't
on?
believe it.
Is actually gonna pull guard.
I don't believe it.
What?
I don't believe it.
Oh, shit. Wow.
Big
Yeah.
guard pull.
I don't think it.
That's a guard pull.
That's a guard pull?
Yeah,
He made.
watch.
What is that?
Kinda.
That, don't care, it's a pull.
It's in. Guard pulling for winners.
See, pull. Like a
I mean,
right guard.
if I fell, you would.
Pull no guard.
I mean,
Right guard.
this is a guard, right?
Yeah.
I pulled, I sat on my ass.
What more do you
What more do you want? All All right. Questions? This is one of those topics like we could do all weekend long, and I tried to give stuff that maybe you haven't seen, because we do so much from this position. I try to give stuff that I don't normally show or teach. But like, it's just one of those topics that you could go on all weekend long and not cover everything. That's just how wrestling, but really all martial arts are, you know, I mean, the good ones anyway. Cool. I know it's in the day, and most, or at least a lot of you have been here all day, so I appreciate y'all showing up and showing out and energy and all that stuff. Even with Aunt Tanja being a little extra, you know,
That's my job.
it's how shit be sometimes.
Yep.
No questions?
All right.
All right. We have an RH here.
All right, thanks, everybody. Have a good rest of your weekend.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Thanks.